Hello, hello everybody. I'm Miss Ines Hafez. I will teach you how to write the perfect story and all the top tips and the hints to be one of the outstanding achievers in Checkpoint 2024. First, tools that you will need while watching our session. Of course, you will need a pen, a notebook, so you can take notes while we are having our session, and the past papers and exams so you can answer the assignments and homeworks in each session. Please leave a comment with your questions and your writing attempts. Let's start now our session. First of all, always keep in mind that English is not a subject, but it's a lifestyle. So, it's not all about studying features of each genre and learning new vocabulary, but you need to read stories, watch movies, and think differently. So, I totally recommend here that reading is your key to write a story. I'll recommend here some famous stories to buy, such as Roald Dahl package, perfect for fantasy and adventure stories, Diary of Wimpy Kid for real life stories, Harry Potter for fantasy stories. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. As reading the story will help you improving your English and in writing flawlessly. Let's start now by the most important question: how to write the perfect story. Here, we will divide our session into 5 lessons: how to start your story, the beginning, the build-up, the second paragraph, the third paragraph will be the problem, as usual, the fourth one, the solution, and the fifth one, the ending. Also, in this session, we will talk about and explain the theme of the story. Continue watching, please, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bar so you can follow our sessions. Now, let's start. We need first to know that our exam would be divided into 2 papers. Paper 1, non-fiction, paper 2, fiction. We are going to write the story in paper 2, the fiction one. Total marks for this paper is 50 marks, divided into 25 marks for the reading text and 25 marks for the writing section. If we are going to start to talk about the writing section, here we will find the marks divided into 5 marks for creation of text, 3 for vocabulary, 7 for grammar and punctuation, 7 for structure of text, and the last 3 for the spelling. You usually tend to write about the openings in the story, the events in the story, and the action. But unfortunately, you tend to forget the paragraph breaks, when to start a new paragraph, the importance of working towards an ending. You shouldn't just write the ending straightforward. You have to work towards an ending, keeping the reader curious about what will happen next, what the characters are thinking and feeling. Here, tips for top marks. Always give insights to the minds of the characters. Say what they are feeling. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they angry? Are they relieved? Are they anxious? Frightened? Scared? Plan an ending. Always plan your ending. Do not just rush to the end. Concentrate on using words and details that create setting, mood, and characters. Okay, in the test, you will need to spend a few minutes planning your story. You'll find this box in your exam like that. This box, you'll have space for your plan here like that. You can write here the setting, the characters, and the plot. The plot, what's the meaning of the plot? What do you mean, Miss, with the plot? Should I write the problem? Should I write the solution? Should I write the build-up here? The plot means the problem, solution, and ending. Okay? If this is the plot, what's the setting and characters? We are going to write the setting and characters in the beginning, the first paragraph. You have to describe the setting in details using the 5 senses. What are the 5 senses? Good job. I can hear you. The 5 senses are what you can smell, what you can hear, what you can touch, what you can see, and what you can taste. Okay, the second part and the most important part, the characters. Who are the characters in your story? Are you going to talk or to write in the first person or the third person? Are you included in this story? You are talking about I, me, we, or you are just the narrator and you are writing about another character, the third person, she, he, and they. Okay. The second part that I should focus on is the language. You should focus on your language like that. Here, as you can see, we have the language part, like time connectives. Time connectives means one day, next, suddenly, after that, finally. You should include tools, simile, metaphor, and hyperbole. You should include onomatopoeia. This is the sound effect. Onomatopoeia. Boom, bam, crash. You should also include powerful adjectives, powerful verbs, compound nouns, prefix and suffix. All these elements will help you to achieve your outstanding grade. Okay, let's continue now. Here is an example of describing a visit to a haunted house. Let's watch this extract first, watch this video, and then we are going to talk about it and discuss and say all the comments that we need to write the perfect beginning of your story. Let's start now.
Eva and her two best friends, Max and Simon, were eagerly waiting for the long weekend because they had planned to go for camping at the Apalachicola National Forest in Florida. Eva was super excited because this was the first time she was going for camping with the boys. Finally, on Saturday night, they arrived at the camping site. They were all having a great time and were enjoying telling each other scary stories by the warm fire. I love barbecue and camping. Oh my god, I had to convince you guys so much to come here. See how much fun you're having because of me? We thought you'd be scared camping at night. Seriously? I'm braver than both of you. We'll see about that. Spend a night here in the forest without running away, and we'll see who's more brave. Around midnight, Eva started to feel a bit tired, and she went to her tent to sleep.
Okay, here. In the first paragraph of your story, we'll need to introduce the setting and characters. Like what happened now in our story that we have watched. So, what did the writer do in this story? He answered the following question. Where did the story take place? The setting. When did the story take place? Who were the main characters, Eva and the two friends, Mac and Simon? How was the weather and atmosphere? The weather dark, gloomy, and the night, the atmosphere eerie, scary. Okay, examples here to start writing your story. Strategy 1, begin with action or dialogue. So you don't need to start with one day there was a boy called Simon and his friend was called Max. No, this is a boring beginning, a dull one. So we can start with action or dialogue, like I crouched in starting position, hands poised on the track and back poised like a spring. On your mark, get set. The starting gun boomed. It is boomed. Onomatopoeia. Yes, thank you. I launched myself forward, trying to spring ahead of the pack. Strategy 2, to ask a question. Why does trouble always follow me around? Do I have a kick me sign on my back or something? It's a question. Strategy 3, which is my favorite, and I think it's your favorite too, describe the setting. Strategy 4 began with background information, like, for example, if I'm going to talk about Tommy is my little brother, and he's in the first grade. He's fearless. One day he wore a cape to school. I told him everyone would laugh at him. The next day, 5 other boys came wearing capes. So you are giving a background information about Tommy. He's fearless. Strategy 5, have the main character introduce himself or herself, like I'm Tabitha, I just turned 13 and I'm here to tell you a secret. So you have 5 strategies. I think the most important one, and my favorite too, is to start by describing the setting and the characters. And as we have said before, we're going to describe the setting by using the 5 senses. Don't forget the 5 senses: what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can touch, what you can feel, and what you can taste. The second part of your story, you need to identify the point of view. You need to decide what point of view should you write your story. First person, I, me, mine, our, ours, myself, we, ourselves, or the second person, you, your, yours, yourself, or the third person, she, he, him, they, them, herself, and so on. This will be decided according to the writing rubric or the writing task on your exam. For example, if in your exam said like this one, look to this example. Akila was the little girl who Jumu rescued from the river. Write a story explaining how she fell in the river. How she fell. So here you will write your story from the third person point of view, of course. Look to the other example. In the story you have read, Theseus had to fight a monster. Write a story of your own in which someone has to fight monster. Someone. So also here you will write your story from third person point of view because you are going to talk about someone, not you. Look to the third example here. Write a suspense story which is set in your own home. Your own home. This is in bold. Why in bold? Why did I put this set in your own home in bold? Because this will help you to decide that you are going to write from the first person point of view, your own home. After deciding the point of view according to the writing rubric, you will have to plan your writing. In each writing rubric, you will find this part in your exam, in your question paper, you'll find this part. Now continue the story yourself to explain what the chief scientist discovers about the creature. So you are going to find the character and questions beside the character, the setting, and question beside the setting, a plot, and here you can find questions. Characters, there are at least 2 characters. The chief scientist, the president, and the creature. What is it? A human being, an unknown species. A setting, the chief scientist laboratory? Do the events happen anywhere else? The plot, how did the creature get to be in the cage? What did the chief scientist do to find out about the creature? Why was the president taking a real interest? So, if you are going to answer all these questions, I think you are going to write a good story. I mean, good story that it will cover all the questions that the examiner wants. But it will be just good, not very good or outstanding. Why? Because you have to add more details and imagination and to create suspense and tension if you need, and to create a moral if you need in real life a story. And you have to focus on your vocabulary and spelling. All these elements will help you to achieve the outstanding grade. Now, we have another rubric. Now continue the story yourself to explain what happened, next ideas to help. Here we have the characters, the setting again, and the plot, the same again. And we have the examples and the questions here. There are at least 3 characters, so he needs here 3 characters. In the previous example, he told us you have 2 characters. Here, 3 characters, the narrator, the boy, and the girl. Who are they? Are they related? So, when you are going to talk about the setting, do they stay on the bus? Do they have to get off the bus? Do they get to school? After that, the plot. Why are these new kids on the bus? This is the plot. What did they have to hide? Why were they whispering and avoiding everyone? Remember to include all these details as much as you can in your story. It can be of any genre that you like. Okay, let's talk about the next part. Okay, we have here another rubric, writing task. I think this will be your homework here. I need a homework of you to write this story. It's about a difficult decision involved. The story might include owning up to something, revealing the truth about a friend, or making the decision to move to a different place or school. So you have here 3 ideas. First, owning up to something. The second one, revealing the truth about a friend. The third one, making the decision to move to a different place or school. You can write in any idea of these 3 ideas. So, such decisions will involve mixed feelings. Of course, the difficult decision, you will be nervous, you will be anxious, you will be excited sometimes, you'll be sad, you'll be happy, you have mixed feelings. Ideas to help you, as usual. He put ideas to help us. How many characters will you have? What will the role be in the story? Will you be writing as if you are the main character? This means what? That means what? First person. Good job. Excellent. That is in the first person. Okay. The setting. Has the place where the story is set got any significance? How will you bring it into the story? The plot. Which part of the story will be the most exciting? How will you end it? Look to this one. Look to this question. How will you end your story? Okay. First of all, what's the genre of this story? Who knows? Okay, I can hear you. Yes, good job. Real life story because it's a difficult decision. It's a story with dilemma. Dilemma because you have a difficult decision and you have to decide whether to stay in your school or to move to another school. This will be your assignment for the session. You will have to write this assignment. I just want you to write the beginning of the story. Today we have learned how to write the beginning of the story. The 5 strategies is to describe the setting, describe the character, decide who are the characters, describe the setting by using the 5 senses. Okay,